thing. That's on both sides, right? You don't have to.
That's why I shut it down.
Yeah, like it's All right, I think we need to get to the next question. Let's get to the next question.
That was a good one.
That was.
So the next question is, how has COVID affected your relationship?
How has COVID?
Man, COVID.
How has COVID?
Everybody's been on edge.
Quarantine.
A little bit on edge.
Quarantine life.
Yeah.
You know, how has it been?
It's been hard.
It's been hard. It's
been hard, man.
We can be real, yeah. Go ahead.
I feel like that everybody needs a vacation.
Yes.
Yeah. Or just a
wind
away.
down. Just away from just everybody. And then, you know what I'm saying? I said, when me and her were in Miami, it was just us two.
Yeah.
So we were forced to talk to just us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't have, like, normally if we go with y'all, she link up with you, I link up with you.
Yeah.
But now when it was just me and her, it was just
I was
us.
forced to have to
So
make
like,
sure.
you know what I'm saying? And I texted her after it was all over. We came back home and after I texted her. I said, tell her, like, going to Miami made me realize, like, why I fell in love with you from the beginning. Because, like, we had all this kind of, like, talk. We just, like, talk. We just joke and laugh.
Yeah.
And that's what made me, like, you know what I'm saying, dig her from the,
That's right.
you know what I'm saying, from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like that COVID stopped a lot of that.
Yeah.
You just stuck in the house.
You just stuck in the house and then you gonna argue about small stuff.
It's
Stuck at home with
You know what I'm saying? Stuff that ain't
And it's not even nothing that's worth. It's not even nothing that mean nothing or nothing like that. It's just strictly because you feel trapped. I can speak for myself just in the sense of everything that we've been going through. Like, it almost feels like you feel trapped inside.
Yeah.
Like, not just literally trapped. You are trapped, but
like,
you feel
really
like trapped inside. So
yeah.
like going through this whole, this whole COVID thing, the quarantine, having to, work from home and everything. With the kids. Like, started off working at home with the kids.
A 1-year-old and a 6-year-old.
A 1-year-old and a 6-year-old, and trying to take that task on and trying to make sure that you live up to what you got to do as far as taking your family. And in doing that, I think sometimes that we kind of block or kind of suppress what it is that we feeling, or the angers or the stresses, or the different things that go on in everyday life. And in doing that, you end up getting to a point where you explode. You end up getting to different points where your anger overtake, and for no reason, you don't know why you're angry. You don't know why you feel the way you feel, but it's that feeling of just feeling trapped in your circumstances and things that you have, going on or whatever. And to tag on what you said as far as getting a vacation, we discovered in going on, just being able to get away for just 2 days and being able to get away ourselves, that I don't think it was necessarily about where we went or how we went. It was the fact of just unplugging from everything that was going on. Because if you in the whirlwind of things that's going on, the kids, the house, the bed, work, all these different things, and you just in that whirlwind and you can't pull back from that, you just stuck. You just stuck, and you just in it, and stuff hitting you left and right. So you need that time to be able to like pull away from all of those things, to be able to get a better perspective and a better focus on what your situation is and how you can put stuff together to be able to get through it. Because you can't figure it out in the midst of it. I don't think. Like, we couldn't figure it out in the midst of going through it. We had to pull away together and have that time together. So that's how COVID affected me as far as personally. How did it affect Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because the person that's closest to you is the person that is the person that gets it. Yeah, is the person that gets it. And then, but I even think now that you home now, like because when everything started off, she wasn't able to be home. But when
how many months were you at home?
Probably 4.
Since like February, right? I think
it was like March.
Or March.
Yeah, it was like March that we left, and then Cass didn't start school until August.
So 4 months.
He was
4 months.
So like 4 months. So finally, when you were able to get home, and then she was able to like sit in it and kind of like see exactly what it was. Like, you can hear people talk about how it is, but until you actually get in, I think you.
I mean, I love my kids, but
yeah. It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
It's real. Yes, online school for the first year of school, working from home, and then you have Kylan who's running around and just doing everything.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It can definitely take a toll on you. And I think I realized that when you came home and you started dealing with some of the stuff that I was dealing with, and we had some of the situations that we had, like, it took me to finally realize, like, dang, I wanted her to come home and help out and be here with me, but dang, now that I see the effect that it's having on her like it was on me, I don't want her to go through that same thing that I was going through. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, one of them things, but it can take a toll on your family. Yeah, and you just gotta make it work. Gotta make it work. Taylor, I don't think you want to answer. How has COVID affected life for you?
So I was at home for 3 months. He was at work. So
Mhm.
he was going out every day. I was at home.
Yeah.
He'd come home. He was like, all right, so let's go upstairs. I was like, I don't want to go upstairs. I don't want to go upstairs. I want to be downstairs. I want to go outside somewhere.
Yes.
Like, you've been out, you talk to your coworker,
Yes.
you talk to people at work.
Yeah, so y'all was opposite of us.
That's the
I-
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to go somewhere.
I need to talk to somebody else.
Yeah, I
And I
want
want
to
to
do
do
it.
it.
I ain't never do it in my life.
And that could be dangerous because y'all both flip flopping and y'all going through different things. So when you come home, you've been out, so now you ready to come home
Yeah,
and
you
be
tired.
home.
And then he tired.
That was me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you at home and you wanna, go out. But,
Yeah.
I think it's probably the same thing. I think it just added another layer of just stress.
Yeah,
on
because not to mention
relationships.
finances.
Yeah, and finances and
Being affected by COVID.
Yeah, I can talk on that too. Like I had 2 part-time jobs that I was working before COVID hit. Lost both the part-time jobs because it was like I was working
Like
different
you
events and
had
doing
to.
different stuff like that. And so I lost both the part-time jobs, and so then you got the financial thing that kind of kicks in. We just bought a house like right before all of this stuff happened, and so
Like 3 months.
yeah. So even the financial thing kicks in. God is good though. God is good.
Amen.
Work it out. You always work it out.
Always work it out, regardless of whatever it
Has
is.
COVID affected you all
As
off
I
camera,
sit
couple?
Yeah, COVID has affected us. I'm gonna tell you, I never knew how much math I didn't know till my daughter came to stay with us for 3 months.
The school thing was.
And I was on the internet calling all my buddies like, look, I got this problem I'm trying to work out. Boy, you in school? No, it's my daughter.
It's my daughter.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then me working a full-time job and trying to run my own business and trying to stay home with my daughter.
Yeah,
It takes money out of your
Yeah,
pocket,
it's
but
dope,
my daughter, her education is more important.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know,
That's
you
right.
know, education is more important than that.
You know what I wish though? You know what I wish? My daughter's education is very important, but I wish that and this is kind of speaking backwards because now it has kind of smoothed out and we've got to a good place. But before the work that some of the teachers
I
were
was like,
giving
kindergarten?
the kindergarten,
Yes.
and I know some of that stuff is passed down to me because let me say, because I don't know if my daughter teacher gonna she ever see this, but she's great. She's awesome. Miss Parker's great.
Your name is Parker.
Miss Parker's great.
She
But some of the stuff that was passed down to them to give to these kids, you got all these different systems they gotta log
They have
into
like
and do
4,
work
yeah.
here, and they gotta be on iStation, then they gotta be over here on Dreamland, and they gotta do
Google
all
Classroom.
and all these different things, Google Classroom, just all these different things.
Yeah, and take pictures of it and put it on.
Yeah, and when we sit here trying to and when you sit here trying to work, like I'm sitting at this very counter trying to work and trying to do what it is that I have to do, conference call, teaching, people can hear my kids in the background screaming, and she also needs my help to click onto these different things. It's like, okay, this is a little different because when you had that time to be able to send your kids to school so that the teacher would be able to work with them and do those things, you have that space, but it's just different now. So, but you just got to find that medium. I was able to, call the teacher. And we were able to have a good conversation with her, and she was able to talk us through some things and get us on a page where we feel a little more comfortable now. But it's
Them
Even the
two
kids are affected
part-time
too.
jobs that you said
Man.
you lost, you got it back when you was with your
Definitely.
kids.
man, exactly, without getting
You
paid.
with no pay.
Yeah, with no pay. Yeah, with
It'll
no
pay off.
pay.
It'll pay off.
Yeah, it'll pay off in the long run.
Yeah, in the long run.
Your kids
Alright.
is your future.
Yes.
But here we go. Last question, because it looks like our video is about 25 minutes. We've been talking.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna get to the last question. The last question is: should you involve outsiders in your marital issues? So anybody that's outside the walls of your home, do you think that it's okay for you to add them into or bring them into
Outside couple.
your
Certain things, no.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
certain things.
okay.
Certain things,
Break
no.
that down. Break that down.
Certain things, no. Put it this way: if this has ever happened to anybody that's out here listening, just say your wife or your husband, y'all out. Y'all had little problems. You meet the opposite sex. Just talking to them, calling, texting, nothing physically happened. Okay, then one or the other find out, y'all work it out. I really don't think you should involve your family in that.
Okay, I get that.
Because you may have a family member that went through that.
Yeah.
They're not gonna give you the best advice. They're gonna give you the advice that they went through. And they were like, no, you need to lead that, or you need to lead.
Or more dangerously, give you advice to protect you because you are their family.
Exactly.
So,
They just love you. So keep that to yourself, work it out.
Okay.
You know.
What are some things that y'all feel are okay? He gave us an example of something that's not okay. What's an example of something that you feel like is okay to bring outsiders into?
Honestly, we don't really bring outsiders. Like, I tell you, Kanika, they're like you said, more than our friends, like, sister brothers, like, you know. And so, it depends on what it is. Like, we'll like, look, we'll have a group text. I'll be like, this is what I feel, and this is what your cousin feels.
Yes. Who's right?
Yeah. And we don't take sides.
Never.
We besties, but she's wrong. I'm wrong. She'll let me know. I do everything. Okay, she's right. Blah,
and that's
blah.
how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be.
A true friend would tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Right.
Definitely.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Break it straight down to you and give it to you and let you know what it is. That's exactly what type of relationship we got. I think. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's been a lot of times where both of them were like, you were wrong on that, and I was 110% sure that I was right. But I had
same thing for me too. Same thing for me. And let me know, especially him. Let me know straight up, like, boy, you wrong on this, bro. You know.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it's supposed to be. But I think that it's okay to bring outsiders into. I'm the same thing like you. It depends on what situation it is. So just like Cedric said, there are situations that it get to the point where I feel like I just can't get through to her. Like I just can't. Like I cannot get through to her. I think there's levels of people that you got to consider too when you bring when you're thinking about who you want to bring into your situations or whatever, right? Because you might not want to call your parental person. You might not want to call your mother or your father when it got something to do with stuff that you want through your household. Because once again, that parental nurturing thing may come in, and no matter how much they love the other person, they still gonna feel.
They always be on my side because your mama didn't love me.
Whatever.
And there will never be another.
Whatever. But you know, but
like I got a key to his parents' house and he even have one. You know.
Same thing. My mama kids are home.
So you got one now? Okay, we'll go that night, see if
But yeah, I think that you. Like it's the levels of people. So there are certain situations you don't want to bring your parents into, right?
Yeah.
Especially, let's be honest, let's be real. We gotta, we say we're real on our channel.
everybody
Right?
grown.
You don't want to bring your mother or your father into any type of sexual issues or any type of disagreements that you have when it comes to that in your relationship. I don't feel, right? You really don't want to bring nobody into that. But if it gets to a place and there's things that you feel comfortable sharing about, with someone that's close to you that you know is gonna give you good, solid advice and only want to see you win in life and be successful in your relationship, then I feel like you will go to someone like we would go to them like as friends, as brothers, as sisters, like to be able to get a perspective from somebody who's close to us, who we know is not gonna spread our business out in the street.
Exactly.
We know they're gonna keep it tight to the best, and they're gonna they're gonna help us and work through it or whatever. So I think in those instances it's okay to share what it is, what's going on. When it's okay to share with your parents, I don't know. When do you think it's probably okay to share with your
I
parents?
think that once you reach that head, when you try to talk it over with your spouse, and it's not going good, and you know that it's not being solved, then I want to get another opinion. I got two people that I normally call and I vent to. I normally call you, I normally call my brother. I vent, I tell them everything that's going on. Like, look, man, this is where I'm at. Like, let me know how you feel. Like, am I wrong? But I think first you need to try home, like stay home.
Yeah, try to do it home first.
She can, you and her fix it out.
That's right.
Work it out. And if you can't, then you know what I'm saying, you know that y'all can come to a head, then you go ahead and bring some of your closest people. And like I said, people that you can trust with your business.
That's right. That's right.
Everybody can have a business, man. They were like, you know,
that's right. Yeah, stuff all out there.
So it gotta be somebody you can trust like that. But me personally, man, I don't put my business out like that. I talk to you, I talk to my brother, and that's it.
You gotta have close and solid people that you can call on, because we all need somebody. It's nothing that you ever gonna be able to just go through life and not need people. Like you always gonna need somebody, but you just need to make sure that the people that you calling on are solid people that you know want good for you or whatever. And like I said, I'm not gonna spread your business in the street.
So how long do you
Everybody
think
needs
your
somebody
argument?
to talk to.
How long is the argument going before you decide to call somebody outside?
Kanika, hold on, before y'all answer that question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this one thing and I'm gonna shut up.
Are you good? You good? Add some money.
One main person y'all left out to talk to, if you know you can trust that person, your pastor.
Oh yeah. I know it's a before no problem.
Y'all ain't never talked to your pastor about
How would you feel going to your pastor about sex.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A lot of pastors indirect kind of spread your business in the church. That's all. You hit some of that preacher. I said, I talked to him last night. I know he ain't talking about that.
Like, what's the topic of today's message? I said, what? My wife won't listen to me?
This is not what we studied last night. Now he talking about blue curtains. That's what I got in my house.
Stupid.
That's the pastor you don't want to talk to.
Have you ever go to your pastor?
I have in the past. Long time ago. Long time ago.
Like I said, once again, I think it just depends on the category. The closeness as well, and what type of relationship you have with your pastor. Because, there's pastors out there all pastors already go through stuff. They men or women, and they go through human things and stuff. So if you got that type of relationship with your pastor, it just depends on what type of relationship you got, and it also depends on what it is that what you're bringing to them. You know what I mean? Like, if it's something that you feel comfortable.
It's something about family matters, and
you cool with it.
But that's it.
You ain't about to go to the pastor and talk about, All right, turn the camera.
I forgot my woman was in here.
All right, go ahead.
Sometimes when me and him have disagreements and I can't get through to him, I have called his sister every now and again. He really doesn't like that. He gets upset. My point, shush.
Let her talk.
My point for calling his sister is because, like you said, when you put other people, like your family, into their business, your family will pass judgment. So I can tell his sister anything about her brother, and that's always going to be her brother.
Yeah.
So she's always going to feel the same way, regardless of what I tell her. I could put as much dirt or tell her I can't stand him, this, and that, and the other. But at the end of the day, that's never going to change. If I call someone in my family and I give him the lowdown or disagreements that I have, they're always going to feel that I'm right.
Yeah.
And they're going to look at him as a different
call
person.
Hold on, before you say what you gonna say, hold on. I'll make sure you're done first.
Yes. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna say this. Still, I would say be cautious of that, because if it's something that he expressed that he don't like or that makes him feel a certain way uncomfortable, you still got to make a decision on if it's important enough for you to be like, okay, he ain't really feeling this is not something he like, let me adjust, because
it's important.
Okay.
When I call her, because I don't call her that often.
Okay.
All right,
go ahead.
Called me lately.
Can I speak? Hold on. First,
Y'all doing all this talking, but won't let us turn the camera around.
Turn the camera on.
Hold on.
Missing couple reveals.
Hold on, man. She just put her hands on me. Ain't gonna take it downtown. Y'all ain't see she's even on me. Anyway, now the only time I don't want her talk to my sister is because I feel like she'll talk something to go on between us. She'll talk to my sister, but I don't know what she said. I don't feel like she's telling the whole story. So I need to be there to listen. How will I call her if I know she didn't call?
You know what?
She don't never. She'll tell me. Some down the line, I find out she called her for some reason or whatever.
I'm loyal.
So maybe you probably need to just communicate. I talk to you.
And I think she honestly.
You like I called Shabu today and told him that we was arguing. No.
Hold on.
If it do come out though, it'll come out because I'll be like,
later on.
Shabu will agree with me. He'll agree with me.
And see, that's my thing. I think she called my sister to get a confirmation or agree, so she would agree with her.
No, I know.
It's like a confirmation of like, am I tripping or am I not? That's when that's the only time I will kind of like.
No, tell me, say, look, I'm about to call your sister.
I do tell y'all.
And then I'll be like, I'll let you know if it's okay or not.
Not in the middle of the
That ain't gonna happen.
No.
I'm calling
What you gonna answer? We gonna tell her together.
So I think the conclusion of the question is that there are times where it's okay. I think we would all agree on that.
It is.
There are times, but there's boundaries to what that looks like.
So like you said, sometimes ain't nobody perfect. So I might not want my sister to know.
Yeah.
And she done told her.
Now what you didn't know is
Don't do it then.
But no,
I can't not do it if I already did it.
No, but I think these are all good questions. I think these are just a few questions that will spark up conversations that will probably. You know what I'm on these days? These days I'm on like a communication
Spree.
There we go. Yeah, that's a communication spree.
But
You
you've
know what I'm
always
saying?
been a communicator.
I've always been a communicator, but now I'm starting to come through. I'm starting to come to the conclusion in my head of like certain ways and certain things that work and certain things that don't work, and how you need to like bring I don't know, just how you need to bring certain communication skills in certain situations, and how sometimes you just need to fall back. Like sometimes you don't need to always just try to talk things out or whatever and try to go through the end. It's just sometimes you gotta just listen, like you said. But I'm on the communication, like she said, spree right now, where I think it's very important, especially in the climate and the different things we're going through. It's family and friends and closeness is very important. And so I was just talking to a friend about this the other day, like having those awkward and those tension moments where you feel like you can't go and sit down and break things down and talk to somebody. Feel like it's time out for that. Like it just need to be thrown to the side, because it should never be nothing that you can't come and sit down at the table and talk to your people about and be able to come through it and be able to work it out. So that's what path we on right now. So I think this is cool.
We're going to Charlotte tomorrow.
And for hold on, and for the viewers and listeners,
Go ahead, give it to him.
the people behind the scene, we're not arguing. I love her.
No.
It's a real conversation.
She over here whispering. Why you sound like you arguing?
They got on matching shirts, y'all.
Yeah.
Subscribe to TNT as well. We'll show y'all the mystery couple. Maybe a few.
Yeah, we gonna show y'all who they really are.
Yeah. They move like 5 minutes down the street, so we'll pop up on them.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
All right, bye. Have a good one, y'all. Thank you.